There it is, Pinkie Pie said as she pulled out a map of Ponyville. She'd gone back to the library to find it. Luckily, she had an uncanny ability to find things she needed very quickly. She took a red marker in her mouth and drew a circle with her next through the road with a chasm on it. She then placed small X's on several houses she tried to gain access to in turn to find any pony. The town appeared to be empty, abandoned. What happened here? She asked herself, looking at the map of X's. She'd only investigated a small portion of Ponyville, but there was always ponies, either at home or running around. About the rest of the days, they'd be in their homes, but they'd be at least be a notice of some kind if a lot of ponies would be leaving. Plus, why was there a boneless pit at the edge of town? I need to get to Cute Corner. If I can make it there, get my hot air balloon and try to see if there are any Pegasus in the sky. They might have an explanation for the fog. We could probably say a pretty good plan. Back to the hand. She also admitted of being worried about Gummy. She hoped he would be alright. She quickly checked it out of the map before packing the map and the pen into her bag. She marked a more unusual occurrences she encountered in Ponyville on the map to remember. She stepped back out into the chilly day when something cold elevated net on the end of her nose. Huh? Pinkie said, trying to see the end of her nose. She shook her head a little bit and looked up at the sky. Small specks of snow began to appear as they slowly fell to the ground. Snow? But it's summer, Pinkie said in shock, staring at the white spectacle. She could see her breath, but she didn't realize it was cold enough for snow out. The Pegasus controlled the weather, so they must be up there right now. Pinkie head up on a gallop towards Cute Corner. Suddenly, Pinkie heard a bag sound coming from her bag. Was that made to photograph making noise again? It suddenly picked random times to do so. Pinkie was knocked out of her sight when she saw the outline of a figure in the fog. Oh, something is here, she said, her heart racing. She quickly ran faster to the figure. As she got closer, though, she couldn't help but get a strong feeling that something wasn't right. As the photograph grew louder. Hey, what's going on here? She instantly asked before assessing who it was. She stopped swiftly, though, when she got a good look at the pony, and she let a high-pitched scream. The pony was barely a pony anymore. Its coat and mane was gone, replaced with a look of rotting flesh that was trying to live. One of its front legs was missing. There was a missing chunk of flesh from its back. Its eyes looked like they had been gouged out. Several teeth looked like they had been knocked out, with the holes bleeding and several lacerations covered its body. Are you alright? Pinkie said, taking a step back from the pony. Her initial reaction was to figure out if it was in pain, but it just told it to stay away. That this thing didn't want to help. The phonograph in her back started to hang off the hook. The fleshy mass lunged at Pinkie, its teeth banged to strike down. Pinkie cried out and chunked away. As the creature fell where she was standing, its teeth sinking into the dirt. Pinkie took a few more steps away from the creature as it butt its head back up, its mouth full of dirt and its teeth. It growled as the dirt dribbled out of his mouth, soaking the dirt with his blood. It began to slowly lumber towards Pinkie, growling as it seemed to smell her out. Stay back! Stay back! Pinky cried out, trying to back away from the terrifying creature. It growled and moaned, dripping a trail of blood as it was intent on tracking her. The creature terrified Pinky. It looked like it was on the verge of death, yet it wouldn't die. Instead, it was intent on attacking her. Every fiber in her being told to run away as fast as and far as she can from this creature. Stay away from me, she cried before her legs finally took action and turned around the creature, quickly galloping away. The creature entered lunge again, his teeth implanting on the dirt once more as Pinky ran past. As she got farther and farther away, the photograph on her back began to settle down before going silent once more. She collapsed in her same position as she breathed heavily. Her heart was beating a mile a minute in her throat. What was that thing? Why had it attacked her? Why did it look like a pony? Why had she not seen any pony else but that thing? It's like a huge pony. Pinky's hand trying to calm her nerves. She bit down on her own, pinching herself to remind herself she wasn't dreaming. She was in control of herself. She could run away from what she saw. This was not a dream. She shook her head and got back to her purse and began to run again. The door to her room inside the corner creaked open slowly as Pinky pushed it. The inside of the room was pitch black. She couldn't see anything past the frame of her door. She carefully dug into her bag and pulled out the lantern, holding it in her mouth as she turned the knob. The light came to life, the flame shining. She stepped into her room, the light of the lantern illuminating what she couldn't see before. She looked at shock at the state of her room. It looked like it had been used for years. The wallpaper was rotting and peeling. The one floor was splinting and falling apart. The curtains were riddled with holes. Dust was thick, and the air was stagnant. Pinky looked at him confused before placing the lamp down gently onto the table so she could see the whole room. Was I gone for a long time? Pinky asked as she stepped through the room, hearing the floor creak and groan as it adjusted to her legs. Thought I would have used the spell to send me to the future if she was going to help me. Would she? Pinky said, not sure what to think. The spell did say it would be disorienting. I guess this could just all be part of the effect of that side effect. The phonograph began to let off a soft static. Pinky stopped in her tracks as she listened to it. For the last time it went off, she met that creature, and it had gone louder as she got close to it. She looked around the room hastily, but she didn't see anything that looked like a monster. Calm down, Pinky Pie. There's nothing too serious to worry about. Let's just check to see if Gummy is here. Got the balloon and head for the sky. You can put this creepiness behind you then, Pinkie Pie said as she grabbed the lantern in her teeth and quickly pushed the bathroom door open. Gummy, she called out despite the lantern in her teeth. She looked into the bathroom and nearly dropped the lantern. The walls were smeared with blood, bloody hoof prints, and hastily scribbled words. The curtains were torn to shreds. The remains barely hanging onto the poles that used to hold them. Caked blood covered the outside of the tub. The whole room looked like a massacre. Gummy? Are you in here? The whistle muffled, but she had to check. She had to look. Her mind screamed leave, but she had to find out if he was in here or not. She took steps into the bathroom, her hooves echoing loudly as she stepped into the tile. The only relief she was given was that the phonograph grew quieter as she stepped in further. She placed the lantern down onto the sink and gulped as best as she could. The room stank of mold and blood. It made her want to gag. She carefully checked around the tub and the curtains, only seeing more blood. She turned to look at the walls, getting a chance to feel hers hurt in the hastily scribbled blood. Help me. Pain. He hungers. The words sent chills down her back. What do they mean, he hungers? The words echoed in her head. Was that referring to Gummy? But Gummy had no teeth. The only thing he could swallow was the musty gator food she bought for him. What happened to the bathroom? Why would this have happened here? Her mind was filling with questions. She desperately needed the comfort of one of her friends with him. She stepped away from the wall. There was only one place left she had to check, and that was the tub itself. She very carefully leaned her head over the edge of the tub, looking down at it. In the tub had laid half of the remains of a tiny green gator. Pinky threw her hooves over her mouth as tears began to stream out of her eyes. It was unmistakable. That was Gummy. It looked like he had been there for a long time. Pinky's stomach was moving into her throat as she stared. Why is this happening? Was the question bouncing around her head again and again and again. She needed answers. It was then that she noticed a bucket ribbon. It was tied immensely into a bow around something that was sticking out of Gummy's mouth. Piggy swallowed as she stared at the item, not sure what it meant. The item was clean, it was free of blood, and it looked like Gummy was trying to give it to her. Piggy gingerly lowered her hoof and took the item from Gummy's mouth, the item slipping out a bit of ease. She was able to look at it clearly now, realizing it was a key. The key had a symbol of a star on it. She didn't quite know what it meant, but Gummy had given it to her in his last days. She had to keep it. She gently placed it in the bag and hid the key into her bag, remembering just then that the phonograph was still giving off a quiet buzz. She carefully grabbed her lantern and stepped out of the bathroom, closing the door behind her. She placed the lantern down on the ground as she wiped her face again, hiccuping. Gummy, I'm so sorry. She cried into her hoof as she desperately tried to calm down. I promise, I'll give you a proper burial one day. She held back another sob. Please forgive me for not being there for you, she said as her shoulders shook. Her tips had calmed down were failing. Her tears were pouring out stronger now. She just wanted to sit there and cry. Her mind snapped aware when she heard the buzzing grow louder, turning into high-pitched ringing. Whatever was setting it off was getting closer. That meant she didn't have the time she needed to sit there and cry her heart out. She had to move her feet that the fellow Gummy was going to be fall to her too. She hastily got the lantern and ran across the room into the closet where she kept the balloon. The ringing grew louder. Her heart was racing a mile a minute. She grabbed the closet doors and ripped them out. Ivor's skin erupted as a light blood latched onto Pinky's face. Pinky rolled her head unoffensively as pain struck all around her face. She scrambled her hooves and rammed her head against the wall, erupting another screech from the blood. She rolled her head and flung it across the room. Pinky breathed heavily as she felt blood trickling down the side of her face. She turned to look at her attacker, her eyes ominous. Resting on the floor was what looked like the upper half of a hairless young filly, its white skin beginning to rot on its bone, its 2-foot hooves grasping for land as it flared on its back, its eyes covered by a white bandana, as its black mouth opened, a long tongue flickering out as it lets out a trailing cry. The screech of the thing struck her ears, harder than the loud ringing of a phonograph. Pinkie Pie was speechless upon seeing this creature. That thing resembled a filly. Her stomach did a flip. A full-grown pony was one thing. The creature found its way right ahead of. Its hailing screeches quieted down as it seemed to be tasting the air. Its tongue flickered about, thinking as she tried to take a step back, only to find a wall there. The creature's head snapped to look straight at Pinkie Pie, and let another wail. As with shocking speed, it began to crawl straight to her. In a blind rush, she quickly jumped to the side, the creature slamming its head straight into the wall. A loud, wailing cry as it floored its head in pain. Pinkie's heart pounded in her throat as she watched the creature. Its hailing cry made it sound so pitiful that it left a sizable blood stain on the wall. Its head was bleeding profusely. It flung its head back and forth. Pinkie wanted to reach out to help it. She wanted to stop its pain and let it know everything was alright. The creature let out blood-colored scream and rushed at her again. Its mouth clamped down hard on the leg. Pinkie cried out. She fled. Her leg trying to get the creature off, but it held on with a tight grip. She began to turn around, trying to shake the creature, but its grip seemed to get tighter. She couldn't hear anything beyond her screams and the beating of her heart. She stopped next to the wall and slammed the creature against the wall. The creature was still there. She slammed it hard again. She slammed it again and again and again. Warm blood splattered against the wall and onto her coat. She slammed it with all of her might against the wall. The creature slid off as life escaped its body, collapsing onto the floor with a thud. Pinkie's breath filled her lungs with fire as her body shook with adrenaline. She looked down at her bleeding leg and at the creature she just finished off. "Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no," Pinkie said in a shaky breath as she stepped back from the creature. She hadn't meant to kill it. Did it deserve death? It had attacked her, but it was the right thing to do. She sat on the ground, panting, her body shaking, her mind reeling. She looked down at her body and saw the soft splatter of its blood against her coat. Her stomach flipped again and again, her contents about to come up. "What have I done?" she gasped, trying to cool her burning lungs. Why did it have to come to this? She shook her head violently. She didn't want any of this, but it was happening. This was no dream that she could wake up from, and it would all go away. This was here and it was real. She took a deep breath as she tried to stand on her little shaking legs. It would ask, "Dirty, what is I would check. What is Twilight. Hey, Pony, I need you right now," she said shakily, walking towards the closet. She got the lantern and lighted in the darkness. The balloon was there, the basket holding the deflated balloon. Hope rose her heart as she placed the lantern down and began to hold out the cloth from the basket. Large holes filled the balloon. Yet, it wasn't usable. It wasn't usable for flight. Piggy broke out in sobbing tears, cutting into the hole with his claws. The phonograph had finally stopped.